Congratulations, you are seeing sights very few tourists, let alone Americans, have ever managed to see in their lives. Alright, get this, if you're driving in Uzbekistan and you see one of these beautiful Chevrolets just parked on the street, that's not just your every old Chevrolet. That is a government-owned vehicle with a speeding cam in it, so that as you're driving, it catches you, and then they give you a speeding ticket after it. Welcome to these mountains' biggest tourist attraction. Only the bold enter here. Okay, пошли. Круто. So, this little village, among many other villages similar to this one, not that many, but a few of them, were built in Imperial Russia, specifically for the soldiers who are sick and who are wounded, because you see it's cooler up here in the mountain area, so they would bring them here to make them get better. And now, however, it's become a more tourist thing. Although, look at this cart. There's me, there's my friend, and then the other ones, well, it's quite empty. So, I'm not sure how the tourism bit is going right now. Now, on one side of these mountains is Kazakhstan. On the other side, Kyrgyzstan, and where in Uzbekistan, and then Afghanistan is somewhere elsewhere. That was the first leg. When you get to the first stop, you've got basically an infinite supply of selfie stations. You can go over there, you can take a selfie with a fox hat, ushanka thing. You could take a selfie with this guy, and all those houses up there are the dachas, where the wealthy go and just chill in the winter time while everybody else freezes. Hello, fine fellow, representative of all the skiers in this town. Because in the winter time, when it's snowing a bunch, well, what do people do on mountains, even in a former Soviet country south of Russia? Now, in the old Soviet days, you would have these little carts. Except there wouldn't be this plastic plexiglass thing surrounding it. It would just be empty. All you would have on any side would be essentially rails, and then if you die, you die. Alright, you see this? That way we've got Tajikistan, that way we've got Kyrgyzstan, and all the way that way, somewhere where we can't see, we've got Kazakhstan. And way back when, nomads who travel this region, they would scale all the way up and down these mountains, both in blistering heat, in the bitter cold. And cold did it get? It is at least a solid 10-15 degrees cooler up here. It's windier. They traveled through snow, through rain whenever it came. No food or anything in sight. All they could do was whatever animals they found along the way, they would have to slaughter them, cook food out of them, and that's how they sustained themselves. Ultimately, the most rewarding thing about coming all the way up here, seeing all this beauty, what's not having to walk or run or climb all the way up here, but instead to ride one of those. They say the experience of having accomplished something like climbing a mountain, going all the way up here, and then seeing the view is worth it. The award mechanism in your body, I can tell you that I am perfectly happy, cheek to cheek, not having done that. We're here in the fall, but in the winter time, when there's snow here, people will come up here and they go skiing down this whole long stretch all the way down. Now you see all of these red grasses, and then there's also these yellow flowers. Very common to grab these from the mountains and make tea out of them. And in Uzbekistan, you can even find this tea at like tea shops, at some restaurants. Look at this. This tree is where the local Uzbekistani people came and they tied these knots on these handkerchiefs, essentially, hung them up, and the point is that they were in relationships and to essentially wish for the relationships to be everlasting. It's very reminiscent of when you're walking in, say, Paris, you're on the bridge, you see those, all the locks there of the people saying Gerard and Mariana forever. Congratulations, you are seeing sights very few tourists, let alone Americans, have ever managed to see in their lives. You're welcome. You hear that wind? That's the mountain wind, son. Blowing all the way from Kazakhstan or Kyrgyzstan or just Uzbekistan. You still have to go through a lot of Uzbekistan before you actually get to, one of those countries. All of this is still Uzbekistan. The other three are just way further out. But there's still houses down there. There's some houses over there. There are actual populations that still reside around here.